Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, the Ninja King, and today we're doing What If Archer Was in the Holy Grail War Part 2. First, I was a little apprehensive about this series getting a Part 2, but seeing that it did reach the 7th view goal that I set for any new series. So yeah, this is definitely gonna get a Part 2, and let's see if Part 2 does it more. I was at first testing the water, so I didn't pull out all the creativity. I just went with what happened in Episode 1, just replaced Gilgamesh with Archer. But this time, this part is gonna be different from the canon. I mean, not that much, since I've already established only Serpents and Fate. 0 minus Gilgamesh are the same. But yeah, let's not waste any more time and get on with the intro and the video. As there was a car driving through the road, the car seems to be the same model that would was normally being used in 1994 for timing. In the car there were 3 people. Most likely 2, probably. It was hard to tell. One of the people in there had white hair and red eyes, wearing what seems to be a white-like uniform, while the other one in the car had blonde hair and yellow eyes. As they both looked at each other, the girl that was driving the car looked at the girl in the seat. Well, that was something else. Wasn't it, Saber? Saber would then look at her and then before answering, Yes, it very much was, Miss Irisville. Not to mention after that we got attacked by Castor, of all people. Yes, it definitely was. Saber would sigh, thinking to himself that this was a lot more trickier than she thought. Not only was she attacked by Berserker, of all people, really early into the game, but also that Archer called her a kid, which she didn't like. Not to mention her arm got injured and now cannot be healed, which basically made her, in typical terms, useless in this situation. Saber was pretty much mad at everyone except for her master, or more like her master's wife, Miss Irisville von Einsford. Irisville von Einsford was the child of, the descendant to be more precise, or should I say a homunculus creation of the Einsburn family. Meanwhile, Saber was that of King Arthur, in the Legends of King Arthur, that is. As the boat drove to where the mansion was, before arriving there, Saber and Irisville got up, parked the car, and went to the house. As they saw a man with black hair wearing a suit, a bow tie, and everything else. As he was there with another woman as well. Irisville went there before hugging her husband, Kyotsugu Emiya. Kyotsugu ruffled Irisville's hand before saying, Yeah, I know, you were worried about me, but don't worry, I'm perfectly fine. That's good to know, Irisville would then sigh, before she sits down, wondering why her husband is like that. Last war, I saw that serpent. You mean, yep, that's correct, Archer. I was looking to the lens of the fighting scenes and looks like he killed an assassin. More importantly, why did he help you guys? Both of them were a little bit confused on what Kyotsugu was trying to ask. Archer didn't seem like the guy that would help you people, but it seemed like he was. Irisville didn't know what to say, neither did Saber, at least at this moment of the time. Well, we cannot totally say what Archer is planning or what was he thinking when he helped us, but we can say that if he's an enemy, we need to take him down. Saber finished Irisville's last sentence as Irisville nodded her head. Things are going to be a lot more troublesome. I wonder what the other families are doing. Meanwhile, at the basement of the Tosaka, Archer was there, as he basically looked into it, as he saw just a glass of wine and a wine bottle. You know what, fuck it. Archer immediately pours in my glass before immediately jugging it. Hey! It's not that bad, actually. I mean, I did taste some alcohol in Calais before, but Archer then pours himself another glass. Then another one. Then another one. 5 minutes later, Tokiyami comes to see Archer completely drink the whole bottle. Archer, are you okay? I miss my wife, Archer would then say before as he lays in his bed. Tokiyami would not know what to say in this situation. I miss my wife. He would immediately start crying as well. I miss my family. Tokiyami wouldn't go and patting Archer in the head, not strictly knowing what to do in this situation. As a man who has a wife and loves it, he knows the feeling of losing one, probably, if it does happen in the future. But Archer was too much. Was it because of the alcohol? Maybe didn't get some information out. Oh, who were your wife? Since I was a kid, I got married to them. Them, as in they, them, like they pronouns, or them, as in two different people. Archer wouldn't say, getting a hiccup. Oh, who were they? Archer then says, their name were Parvati and Ishtar. Eh? You married two goddesses? In a sense, you can say. Wait, Archer would immediately pull up, took him and say, all right, Archer, sober yourself. Yes, master. Immediately turning himself into spirit form before coming back. Well, that was weird, Archer would then say. I think that's what you get for drinking so much wine. In all honesty, yeah, you're right about that. But what about now? Archer would then think. First of all, let's look at this. Tokiyami would then say. First of all, we know that Seva's master is Miss Iva's will. Archer would then think to himself, no, it's my dad. But now I can tell him dad, can I? We know that Diarmuid's master is Mr. El Malloyd. Meanwhile, his Ganda's master is a boy named Vapor, who seems to be El Malloyd knowing about him. Yeah, I kind of heard that conversation. So, as we know, Saver, Lancer, and Ryder have been accounted for. Only out of them, Diarmuid, and since we know all of them name, Artoria, thanks to, your spying, and Diarmuid and his Gandar. That only leaves us with Berserker. What about Assassin? Yes, Assassin's master is Kira and we both know it. You and I are Archer. Archer? Your name is still gonna be calling yourself Archer from now on, aren't you? Pretty much, Archer would then say, as he writes it down. That only leaves us with Berserker's master and Caster and his master, both of which we know nothing about. Archer would then think to himself that he already knows who Caster's master is, but he couldn't just immediately say it to him. May I'll just go to the city and do some research. Got it? Immediately Tokiyami would nod his head as Archer would then leave, going to the highest point of the city, in broad daylight that is. Immediately using his archery eyes that the archer class has to see around him, everywhere around him at least. It's like the city is more barren than I thought it would be. Odd. It is still in the night. So where is Caster? Immediately Archer would then start to jump places, looking for where Caster could be. He immediately started to do that. As he did, he would immediately feel something, landing down before he looks around with his eyes, immediately going to an alleyway before he sees something he never thought it would be. There were people with dark charcoal skin, with red lines going around their body as they were like the walking dead. Oh, son of a... Archer immediately pulls out his Kinsa and Baki and starts to slice them up and down. What the hell was going on here? Archer would immediately recognize this, as they all were arriving back up again. These were the apostles. I gotta tell them. Tokiyami! Archer immediately sends a voice. What's wrong, Archer? I'm fighting some dead apostles. Dead apostles? Don't... Okay, I'm calling Kirei. Immediately Tokiyami wouldn't go calling Kirei immediately with the, phone, style phone, ancient music player thing. Yeah, but I don't even know what that maze technology is. I mean, it's definitely potent in a modern day phone, but it's not something I would normally be using. As immediately Tokiyami hearing this would immediately ask him where Archer is. Archer, where are you? I don't know, I've basically been just exploring the city. Don't worry. Archer would immediately kick them before he thinks to summon a particular sword. Well, no one is here, so Archer immediately takes a deep breath, performing a golden-like sword with that of a hilt on it. Archer would then say, a sword that belonged to Artoria Pendragon before the throne scepter the king. You all shall be slain by this. Immediately Archer would show the sword. It was a holy sword, and the moment all of them saw it, they all were terrified. Caliber! Archer would then say. Immediately a beam of light would hit all of them, vaporizing them. That was easier than I thought. Archer would then say, putting it down, now what is going on here? Why the hell are there dead apostles? In this timeline at least. I don't remember anything like dead apostles when I talked to Saber. Okay, maybe she didn't encounter them. None of the others mentioned fighting dead apostles. Maybe Gilgamesh was in charge of wiping them out? Archer would then sigh, immediately jumping to the roof, ready to look for more dead apostles, making sure to disappear that of Caliber. Archer then realized something. Wait, Kinsa and Baki were that of higher fantasies than them. To defeat a dead apostle. Alright, explanation. Dead apostles are basically lower tier vampires, and the only way to defeat dead apostles are basically either by using their natural weaponaries, that basically being the church's black keys, or that of a higher fantasy, which I presume Noble Phantasm would be considered as higher fantasies, But it's kind of hard to tell with Archer because I'm pretty sure with anyone else and the Noble Phantasm, whether it be a weapon, mount, or anything, would be basically able to take down. I'm pretty sure Servants also count as a higher fantasy. But technically, Archer is one of a counter guardian which made a deal with Alaya, but Alaya is also against. And you see where the confusion comes. I'm not technically sure where and how this rabbit hole I just got myself digged into started, but it happens, I guess. As Archer immediately started to jump around, immediately seeing the city around him seems to be more lively. Whatever. Archer would, for the rest of the night, start slaying down dead apostles that were rising to the ground, realizing that they were in a form of an airy formula. Each of the dead apostles were in Fuyuki's main parts, and more importantly, they were in around Fuyuki itself. Not just Fuyuki City, but all of Fuyuki. This scared Archer, because they were lined up in a specific way, like used for a ritual, a pentagram shape. Archer immediately pulled out the map of Fuyuki, which he then started to draw it. In each part he found, he made a dot. Before, he didn't start to, and his separation was correct. It was a pentagram symbol. Was someone trying to summon something? Who the hell needed this much? Only these key points are enough to make ley line spots. Sure, there's none in Rio the Temple. I guess none of them want to enter that place, or even the Ainsworth Mansion. But then again, I failed to get in that. And I don't think I want to go there. Archer, remembering his memories of Hercules, would immediately get a chill down his spine. As Archer basically just looks at the circle of magic. Alright, who even needs this much magic to summon what? Archer just hopes it isn't something like the Crimson Moon or anything. Hey, he's just hoping it's not. Sure, he may have met Archwade in Chaldea, but everything he knows about her is that the Throne of Hero does not exist in this time. Her timeline, that's why dead apostles are more common and true ancestors. Because the Throne of Hero cannot exist in a timeline where there are dead apostles, and vice versa. No, dead apostles do exist, true ancestors. The fact that there were dead apostles didn't scare Archer, but it mean that there was true ancestors means that this was a world where there are both true ancestors and dead apostles could exist in conjunction, which basically scared the living crap out of him. So Archer just went out and started killing and giving to Tokiyami that. It would be the next day as Kirei would immediately come to where Tokiyami is currently living at, and immediately discuss the situation with him and Archer. So last night I went dead apostle hunting. Immediately Archer would pull out the map of Fuyuki City, and Archer would immediately then mark the 4 spots with a pin. You see, these 5 spots are where I found the dead apostles at. Kirei would then look at the spots. These are all places that where ley lines are the most potent. Kirei would then say, yeah. Not just that, Archer would immediately then do some strings. Strings before they saw an eerie looking and very, how shall I put it, scary type of symbol. Then that's a pentagram. Not just that, Archer would then circle it before forming that of a few symbols. Yep. I'm feeling that someone's gonna use this as a summoning circle. Why would they need the entire ley lines of Fuyuki City? Don't they know that? Plus, isn't that supposed to be the job of the church? Kirei would then say, yes, we made sure to eliminate any of the other apostles that were here to not interfere with the Grail War. But the fact that there's more kind of terrifies me as well. Archer would then sigh, wondering what himself is going to happen. If there is truly going to be this type of ritual, probably the Grail War is going to be called into a pause until all the masters can basically see it. Yes, that's correct. What do you mean there's a bunch of dead apostles? Irisville would immediately scream out at her husband. Calm down, dear. I'm gonna explain to you. I've been noticing a lot of dead apostles in Fuyuki City recently. The church has been handling them, and so have I. But that's not the point. You see, I have bad feelings with dead apostles already. You know that. I was born remembering her master's, husband's story. Meanwhile, Saber knowing her master must have seen us. Yeah, we both know about your situation, Kirichigu. Well, that's the whole point. I've been eliminating dead apostles. The fact that there are so many is that it's kind of terrifying. Do you think? The fact that there are so many, I'm pretty sure they're going to do some sort of ritual. So what now? If it's possible and just get that far, we need to contact all of the masters as soon as possible. But for now, Kira would then say, I need to do something. Kira would then leave. Are you sure you want to go with the plan? Yes. Elmaloid is one of the biggest threats, and currently we need to blow off his place. That entire hotel he booked is a whole ass mansion. A mansion, you say, huh? Well, that's definitely something else. Less of a mansion, but more of an hotel. What about the innocent dormitory? We'll take them out first. I'll make sure that all of them out, except for 2 people. And then, he would then immediately make a gesture. Bomb the place. Got it. As the boat would start to leave the room. As they went to the car, ready to plant the bombs and detonations inside of the hotel room. What they didn't know that he may have been planning this. Meanwhile, Archer was in the household wearing his normal shirt this time, as he basically started to walk out before he sees that of a little girl. It was little Win. Oh, hello there, Win. So, who are you again? I'm just your father's friend, Win. Immediately he would then say, alright, Win would then say, understanding Archer, as Archer then starts to walk away. Yeah, if she knew, she would definitely scream. I wonder how do I tell her in the future that she may summon me if I die in this Holy Grail war. Actually, now knowing that I'm not a Gilgamesh, what will happen? Actually, you know what? I want to go somewhere. Immediately, Archer would leave Tokiyami's household before jumping places until he arrived in a very particular looking Japanese house. It's been many years since I've seen this place. Archer's eyes would then immediately look at the nameplate. Isn't that interesting? Muramasa. Shinjiro Muramasa. Looks like Shinjiro was right. I guess I am his descendant after all. Archer would look at his house. As he then looks inside of it, using his window, seeing the younger version of himself with red hairs and normal skin, with that of the golden eyes. Archer would sigh. I miss my younger self, actually. You know, I miss the days when everything was normal and fine and I didn't have to take lives. Excellently. I will make sure to stop it. Archer was clenching his fist, remembering the Fuyuki fire. He promised to himself that he will stop the Fuyuki fire no matter what, and this time make sure that no one dies in it either. But with the dead apostles, he fears that it may be inevitable. Heck, he doesn't even know what's going on with this timeline, as he starts to run away, jumping from building to building. Meanwhile, without him knowing, someone was basically seeing Archer. He was in a more of a void-like space, sitting down in a throne, looking into the book he has. As he looks into the book, before he sees Archer's photo, more and more of his Archer. As then, more and more of Archer's story would then start to reveal, basically. The man would basically be looking at him. The man was none other than Kisan Jainvid Jelrist, or the user of the first magic. Or, wait, no, that was the user of the second magic, Kaleidoscope. Or parallel worlds, to be more precise. Zeldris basically started to look at Archer's page before a smile. So, looks like he's going to be facing the dead apostle threats. I wonder how this timeline is going to be faring. If it has anything to do with you two, that is. As a womanly voice would then speak to Zelris realizing who this is.
The fact that you can see this world doesn't mean anything to me, Zelris. What I want is to see that my counter guardian has been summoned in a particular timeline. I want to see what exactly happens to it.
Why are you always like this, Alaya? Alaya, what was also known as the will of humanity itself, was basically a being that had no form or no face, except for the fact that he was it or she was basically the will of humanity or the will of humankind in general. And you're such an arrogant prick, mostly because you believe yourself as high and mighty. But you know what? Seeing that you're a combination of humanity itself, you get some of the more darker impulses. Isn't that right, Gaia? As then, another voice would speak to him, this one being more motherly almost.
Yes, indeed. It seems like that Alaya has become more wicked over the time. But it's no matter. The dead apostles seem to be more of a problem in this timeline anyways. Does the irregularity. I personally believe that Archie can do it, and maybe you can help him, Jumbus? Take this as a small favor, and then I shall allow you into this world. Oh, how rich. Coming from the same entity that wants to wipe out all of humanity. Pretty funny, isn't it, Zelrith?
Zelrith said sigh. You know what? Both of you are pricks. But I still want to help Siremi out. So, maybe, just maybe I can lend him a hand. Zelrith wouldn't think for a bit before he pulls out a particular looking sword from that of another dimension, dropping it to the ground. Immediately the eyes of both Gaia and Alaya would be shocked seeing the sword, with him having a smirk, them wondering which dimension he took this from. Meanwhile, back to Archer. Archer was once again elbowing the city basically. He was basically checking around, wondering what can happen at any given moment. So he decides not to think of it much. The only thing he knows is that he needs to find Castor before he can summon the giant Cthulhu monster. He already had enough dealings with that of those damn assholes in Chaldeas, the foreigner class servants. So he didn't want to deal with another Eldritch god foreigner now being summoned back to Chaldea. Plus, he knows that Chaldea's mission hasn't been finished yet, so he definitely needs to be summoned back after this war ended. So Archer basically just landed down and started to look around for any problematic situation that can truly happen. So Archer basically went around checking around the sewer systems to find out of Castor. As basically he was looking around, even he didn't know where that situation was. Heck, if Kira could find any original timeline, so could he. At least that was that was going in Archer's mind, that is. Archer basically be looking around for a while until he just basically decided that he didn't want to hunt anymore. He went back to Tokiyami's place as he just took a rest. So, found ending, Tokiyami would then say, pouring my glass of wine. First of all, no. And second of all, Archer would push the glass of wine away. I don't think I want to drink anymore. Oh really? Why not? After what I told you last night, I don't think I am allowed to drink alcohol anymore. Archer would think that he definitely should stop his drinking of alcohol. Heck, he remembers when every time he did, Prabhati and Esther had to basically make sure that he was back in his room. Simply tucked. He did some stupid things as well while he was on alcohol. So he decided not to, if it was going to be in stepped up condition. He just go back to your spirit form and come back for that to happen, okay? Archer would then look at him. Yeah, whatever. Archer would then say before he just sat down, taking in a deep breath before he realized that, yeah, nothing was gonna happen in this situation, was it? Archer would sigh a bit before he looks into the night sky, wondering what was gonna happen next. As Archer was basically looking around the area, again, it was nighttime. He was wondering what can happen, so he decided to keep on going until he arrived at a specific mansion, that being owned by the Ainsworth family. He knew that Kirei basically was here, so he sent him here, but he didn't want to deal with Kirei. So he told Kirei that he was going to be the one who was going to be here for a bit now. So Archer basically went to the mansion. As long as I'm here, nothing bad is going to happen to Miss Harrisville. At least for now, that is. Archer didn't remember everything that Kirei did to her. Everything that Irisville basically told him. Yeah, as if there can be any hell of a chance I'm going to do that to her. But he remembers things. The light went out as it was basically time. So, Castor is here. Archer immediately pulled out his two swords, Kincho and Bakya. Time to slice and dice. Immediately he starts to run to the forest as he saw Castor with bunch of kids taunting out Saver. Archer wasn't going to take this anywhere lightly, so immediately pulls out the demonic sword once it belonged to Fergus. As he immediately started to pull the spiraling sword. Die, bastard! Archer would immediately say, as the sword would go at supersonic speed. Saver seeing this, wondering who this was, and that Castor didn't turn his head, immediately getting stabbed by the sword and then blowing up. That takes care of that. Bastard! Castor would then immediately say, if it wasn't for my quick reflex, I would have been god dead, and I would have never met her, John the Hark. Oh, yeah, right. Archer would remember the scarily close similarities between John the Ark and that of Saver. Yeah, not gonna happen. Immediately, Archer would pull that up two daggers. Once again, Kincho and Baki are landing down. Saber would be shocked. Archer's here? Who else is here? Immediately, Saber would then go down, pulling out her sword. Holy saint! A Hark! What's going on here? He's basically a mad lad. He's looking for John the Ark, which I'm gonna guess you look quite similar to. And that explains it. Listen up, I'm not John the Ark. No, you're lying. What has God done to you? Gilda Race, aka Castor, would immediately scream out. I'm just gonna guess that he's Gilda Race. Why do you think that? Well, he was the only soldier closest to John the Ark, and the only one who could into crime to see the name of God, at least. So it made sense. Gilda Race would immediately summon those weird monsters that start to attack Saber, as Archer would be basically there slicing them down. as so would Saber. Amazing how your great reflexes with that of the sword and a bow. I can be summoned at many different classes. Let's take care of this, as the boat would be swinging, slicing the sword, slicing that of Castor. Meanwhile, Castor was that of trying to pull out something from his book. Immediately, he wouldn't realize something. Shit! He's going to summon something. Archer would then remember one of the things Saber told him and the nuke level destructions he did, that destroying it. As they were doing it, Archer would immediately go, trying to destroy it, the book. But Castor was keeping Archer away from the book, making sure that he didn't touch him while his own little project was being finished. After a while, Diarmuid would come, Archer immediately recognizing that he was definitely going to be in trouble. Immediately, Diarmuid would basically start to use his spear, spearing that of away. After a while, they would use a combination attack. Saber then says, God damn it, what do I do? And not just use a noble phantasm, all of us already know your true name. Saber would then immediately look at him. Oh really? Why don't you use a noble phantasm? Archer would then say, I won't. Why not? It takes a hell long time to finish. Alright then, Saber would then say, immediately start to cut down that of the monsters coming one by one. As so would Archer basically be taking them down easily. Ah! Gilderoys would immediately scream out, Die! Pillars of gods! Did you just call me a pillar of god? Technically I am one, Archer would then think to himself before he immediately switched on the tentacles. Say, but did he have to summon those enemies in the series? I can now not stop looking at the dead fathers and seeing how much I play up Zio now. Immediately slicing them and dicing them in half. Archer would immediately go to Diarmuid before. He would then say, Diarmuid, throw your spear at that book. Got it. Diarmuid would immediately think up the spear before immediately throwing it. Castor would immediately pull his book out. Bali! Castor would immediately scream, seeing that his book was pierced. As Archer would go, immediately summoning that same spear as Diarmuid, but this time being the yellow one. Damn you! Archer would pierce straight to that of Castor's shoulder. Ouch! Wait, did this just copy my... Immediately screaming out, Diarmuid would then see the spear and seeing of Castor who screamed, but now have a permanent injury. And this may not be as potent as yours, Diarmuid, but it's definitely something else. Castor would then say, Die, all of you! Castor would then say, Enough! Archer would immediately go ready to slice up Castor's neck before immediately was recalled. Son of a bitch. Well, that was something else. You called me back so early, master. Guess you're right. You couldn't let my partner die after all. Whatever. Archer would immediately click his tongue, seeing that Ryonosuke, the master of Castor, had already called him back. But what was the weird part was that immediately he did it. Immediately after that, Saber told Diarmuid, and Diarmuid went to his master's side. Archer then seeing that of Saber. We'll meet again, Saber. But one thing, the apostles have been rising, so you must be safe. As Archer then jumps away, going back to Toki, and then tells him about everything, including the fight. Toki may congratulate him on injuring Castor, even if it was temporarily. Anyways, I'm gonna end it up here. Hope you guys like this part. Like, comment, share, and subscribe.